Thanks for joining us online today. We're so happy to have you. If you would like to get connected or learn more about us, you can go to thevenues.org/connect and fill out a welcome card and somebody will reach out to you. You can also submit a prayer request there if you have any. Also, download our Church Center app if you don't have it to stay up to date with all of the things that we're doing, or you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Or if that's where you're watching us right now, you can learn more about us on our website, thevenues.org.
I've been held by the Savior. I found love from above. I've been down to the river. I ain't the same prodigal return. All my hope is in Jesus. Thank God that yesterday's gone. All my sins are forgiven. I am driven by love. I'm no stranger to the prison. I've worn shackles and chains, but I've been freed and forgiven. I'm not going back, I'll never be the same. All my hope is in Jesus. Thank God that yesterday's gone. All my sins are forgiven. I am driven by love. All my hope is in Jesus. Thank God that yesterday's gone. All my sins are forgiven. I am driven by love. All my hope is in Jesus. Thank God that yesterday's gone. All my sins are forgiven. I am driven by love. God, I'm on my knees again. God, I'm begging, please again. I need you. Oh, I need you. Walking down these desert roads, water for my thirsty soul. I need you. Oh, I need you. Your forgiveness is like sweet, sweet honey on my lips, like the sound of a symphony to my ears, like holy water on my skin. Dead men walking slave to sin. I wanna know about being born again. I need you. abuse your grace. God, I need it every day. It's the only thing that ever really makes me wanna change. I don't wanna abuse your grace. God, I need it every day. It's the only thing that ever really makes me wanna change. Your forgiveness is like sweet, sweet honey on my lips, like the sound of a symphony to my ears, like holy water. Your forgiveness is like sweet, sweet honey on my lips, like the sound of a symphony to my ears, like holy water on my skin, like holy water on my skin. It's like holy water.
Hey friends, I wanted to share a little bit with you about Lights of Love. Lights of Love is a tangible way that the venue supports our community over the holiday season, and through this we support families, children, seniors, our unsheltered friends, and even our four-legged friends, because we can't forget about our pets. So if you would, follow the link provided, go check out the info, and see how you might be able to get involved to make a difference in someone's life this holiday season. Thank you.
Hi guys, my name is Cheyenne Park and I handle all things 425. The venues at 425 is
Oh my God.
Thursday night service,
This is
which
it.
we host at 425
They finally asked me to be on the
every
other
Thursday
side of the
at
camera
4:30
to
p.m.
film an announcement.
Anytime we have a
This
guest available,
is
we
the
can
best
schedule
moment of my
a
life.
You
Now
can
do
say
not
whatever
screw this
you
up
want.
for us, Spencer.
And then we do live
Don't you
music,
dare
and we
embarrass
follow up
us
with a brief
again.
message by Ben usually. Sometimes we'll have guest speakers or we will play games, all kinds of stuff to do. So definitely come and join us tonight. And this with me is
Hi, I'm Spencer.
Ryan.
I'm the technical coordinator for the venues, so I handle all the nerdy tech stuff in the back and normally behind the camera so you guys don't see me. I just want to let you guys know that we're not having a 425 service this Thursday. because
why is that?
there's some holiday
Something.
thing. Oh, the day before Black Friday?
Ah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. All right. So
So-
Black Friday Eve, we won't be hosting the venues at 425. Bummer.
Bummer.
All right. Well, we'll see you then the week after that, which I believe is December 3rd.
Yes.
All right. If not, we'll edit that out.
Hi everyone, my name's Joey and I'm the creative director here at the venues. One of the reasons I love the venue so much is our commitment to helping those in need in our community and loving our neighbors. We can do that through helping those who need food or our unsheltered friends who might need hygienic items, or partnering with other organizations across our community to help those in need. But another thing that we do here is provide a place that's safe for people to question their spirituality and just generally ask questions. And most importantly, we have a place where you are welcomed and accepted and loved unconditionally. So if you like what the Venues is doing, please support us. Please consider donating. And one of the best ways that you can do that is going to thevenues.org/give and setting up a recurring donation. So please consider doing that. We love you, and we want to help you love your neighbor as well.
The band is going to do a song about recognizing the goodness in the world around us. Gratitude is defined as an affirmation of goodness, and sometimes we don't recognize the goodness around us until we are faced with a really difficult situation. This song, What a Wonderful World, recorded by Louis Armstrong in 1968, and it really was not popular at all until it was featured in a movie in 1987 with Robin Williams called Good Morning Vietnam. And it was in the context of remembering that suffering, injustice, tragedy of war. Did that song find meaning for people? So I encourage you in these moments, no matter what you are going through, to acknowledge that suffering and hurt you're feeling, and also to become aware of the goodness that is in our world, and the goodness that is within you.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies crying, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies crying, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Hey, Venues family, I'm Devin Wright. It is so good to be back with you, and I'm sad that we cannot be in person, but I'm thankful to Spencer and the whole crew at the Venues to connect us online. I am very grateful for that. It's Thanksgiving week, and we've been told not to gather. It is a COVID quarantine Thanksgiving. We're having to think of the Thanksgiving holiday entirely differently this year. And this week, Jimmy Fallon asked what new Thanksgiving traditions people have. And here are a couple of the responses. We agree to never have ham that looks like COVID again. Another one. Instead of roast turkey, serve wild turkey. Thanksgiving reminds me of my childhood. I remember first grade, a play reenacting the first Thanksgiving where the natives shared a meal with the pilgrims, and they taught the pilgrims how to hunt and how to fish and survive. And they shared that dinner party and became best friends forever and lived happily ever after. But while we're looking at Thanksgiving in a new way in 2020, I want to look at the origins of Thanksgiving in a new way. As around 1620, the Pilgrims, the Christian Puritans, had arrived, and they were just about killed off by disease and starvation. And it's true that a local Wampanoag tribe saved their lives. It's true that Governor William Bradford in 1621 called for a 3-day feast between the Wampanoag tribe and the Pilgrims. But then in 1637, a battle broke out between the Christian Puritans and the Pequot tribe. There, about 700 Pequot men, women, and children were slaughtered, and many were taken into slavery. Governor William Bradford, the same person who declared that 3-day feast with the Wampanoag tribe, after that massacre of 700 people, he declared a day of thanksgiving kept in all the churches for our victories against the Pequots. Historians believe that Thanksgiving came out of a mixture of these two historical events, 1621 feast and the 1637 massacre. America in 1777 called for another day of Thanksgiving after they won the Battle of Saratoga. Then in 1789, George Washington called for another day of Thanksgiving after winning the Revolutionary War. Then in 1861 and 62, when the South won a victory in the Civil War, President Davis would declare a national day of thanksgiving to God. When the North won a battle, President Lincoln would declare a national day of thanksgiving to God. The losing side, they didn't have a day of Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was for the winners. In 1863, Lincoln did issue a national holiday for Thanksgiving that would be annual. But the credit goes more to a woman by the name of Sarah Hale than it does to Lincoln. You may not recognize that name, but you know what she's most famous for, that lullaby, Mary Had a Little Lamb. I wish she was known for more than that because she was a huge advocate for women's rights and women's education during a time when people believed that women should not be educated. She believed that a time of thanksgiving and gratitude would help heal the wounds of a divided nation during the Civil War. She's not wrong. Studies have shown that gratitude really does help people get through some hard times. And it certainly is a relevant message today where our nation feels so politically divided. But what these examples of Thanksgiving throughout history tell me is that sometimes we give thanks for things that tend to benefit ourselves and harm others. Our gratitude is in response to circumstances that are good for us, maybe not good for others. I give thanks when the Seahawks win or the Chiefs win. I don't give thanks when they lose. I don't see the other team giving thanks when they miss that touchdown. Gratitude seems to be more for the winners. Gratitude is often a response to a circumstance that benefits us. When Biden won the election, Biden voters thanked God. When Trump won the election in 2016, Trump voters thanked God. We tend to be grateful for things that benefit ourselves and benefit our people. Sometimes we give thanks for things that benefit ourselves and harm others, things that are unjust or immoral. This reminds me of a story that Jesus tells in Luke 18, 9-14. Jesus told this parable to a certain people who had convinced themselves that they were righteous and who looked on everyone else with disgust. 2 people went up to the temple to pray. One was a Pharisee and the other a tax collector. The Pharisee stood and prayed about himself with these words, God, I thank you that I am not like everyone else, crooks, evildoers, adulterers, or even like this tax collector. I fast twice a week. I give 1/10 of everything I receive, but the tax collector stood at a distance. He wouldn't even lift his eyes to look toward heaven. Rather, he struck his chest and said, God, show mercy to me, a sinner. Jesus said, I tell you, this person went down to his home justified rather than the Pharisee. All who lift themselves up will be brought low. Those who make themselves low will be lifted up. There is a form of gratitude that is prideful, that makes us feel better about ourselves. The kind of gratitude that says, thank you, God, that you have blessed me and that I am not like those that you haven't blessed. That theology is a very primitive and ancient worldview. It's the kind of theology that says the gods are up in the heavens pulling on the puppet strings, determining every single thing that happens. And it says that every single circumstance in your life is either a punishment from God or a blessing from God. An example of this, in 1634, John Winthrop wrote to a friend in England about smallpox that had been brought from Europe that decimated the native populations. He called this plague miraculous. He said, but for the natives in these parts, God hath so pursued them, as for 300 miles space, the greatest part of them are swept away by the smallpox, which still continues among them. So as God hath thereby cleared our title to this place. God, thank you that you have brought smallpox from our home country to decimate the native people so that we can take their land. This must have been God's will, God's blessing on us. It's a theology that says, I am blessed, I'm grateful for my blessing. See, a theology that says when I drive through an intersection and I see an unsheltered person who is asking for help, I say, God, thank you that I am not like that. Thank you that I have a place to stay. And then I drive on through the intersection. Every circumstance in that theology, it's either a blessing or a punishment. I'm done with that theology. I think Jesus did away with that theology 2,000 years ago. Jesus said it rains on both the good and the bad. Well, maybe I need to let go of that punishment blessing theology, just like Jesus did. I still see that theology lived out today. So is my gratitude a front to make myself feel better about myself, to look down on others? Or is my gratitude used to gloss over suffering or injustice rather than to deal with it? I want to throw out that kind of thanksgiving. I want to adopt a more Christ-like thanksgiving. There, I think, is a deeper, more genuine, more grounded form of gratitude that is Christ-like. It's true that there are some benefits of gratitude. In the past 20 years, they've done a lot of scientific studies. Found that gratitude is related to 23% lower stress hormones, better sleep, stronger immune system, lower blood pressure, increased feelings of well-being and happiness. One study even found that people who felt grateful ate less fat. There are so many benefits of gratitude. Dr. Robert Emmons, the world's leading researcher on gratitude, says gratitude is not just good medicine, though a nice sentiment, a warm, fuzzy feeling, or a tactic for being happier or healthier. It is also the truest approach to life. So living in gratitude is living in truth. Gratitude is not just a feeling. It is a grounded way of being in the world, of living in truth. I think that gratitude requires this contemplative, mindful awareness. A Jesuit definition of contemplation says a loving look at the real. It's seeing all things as they truly are, apart from our biases, our fears, our prejudices, our injustices, our insecurities. The real, a loving look at the real involves seeing both the good and the bad. And sometimes I use gratitude to just kind of shove the bad down, to pretend it's not really there. Diana Butler Bass is a Christian historian on the church. She says, being grateful does not fix anything. Pain, suffering, and injustice, these things are all real. They do not go away. Gratitude, however, invalidates the false narrative that these things are the sum total of human existence, that despair is the last word. Gratitude involves a recognition of both and, the good and the bad. Dr. Emmons defines gratitude as two things, affirmation and recognition. It is an affirmation of goodness and then a recognition of where that goodness comes from, that it comes from outside of myself. So it's an affirmation that this pecan pie on Thanksgiving Day is so good. And it's a recognition that I didn't make that pie. I didn't make the ingredients that went into that. Gratitude is an affirmation of the goodness that I woke up this morning with breath in my lungs. And it is a recognition that that breath did not come from myself. It came from a good God who is the source of all things, who breathes life into us. And while it is an affirmation of the good, it is not a negation of the bad, of suffering, of injustice. A gratitude that downplays the bad, that's a shallow, a fake kind of gratitude. There's a deeper gratitude than that. Michael J. Fox helps me move toward a grounded gratitude. We know him from Back to the Future and Family Ties, and he was diagnosed with Parkinson's at age 29. He's now 59. And he recently had a tumor removed on his spine, and he had to learn how to walk all over again. And he is known for being optimistic. He is known for helping others stay positive through their suffering and tragedies. And he said, he recalls a recent tragedy of his own that challenged his optimism. Take a look.
The worst seemed behind him. Then he returned early from a family vacation to film a cameo in an upcoming Spike Lee film. What happened next led Fox to question everything.
I spent the night by myself in the apartment. It was the first time since I had the surgery. And I got careless and was walking in the hallway and I slid into the living room, into the kitchen, I should say, and hit a tile and went down and shattered my arm. So I found myself underneath the phone waiting for the ambulance to come, lying on the floor with my broken arm. And of all things, that was the thing that really set me off.
That's bottom?
That was bottom, because it was so useless, it was so pointless and so stupid, so avoidable, and everything that had happened, that I couldn't say, well, I didn't do anything to cause Parkinson's. I didn't do anything to cause the tumor on my spine. But I did this.
But how could you blame yourself for that?
Well, because everyone's taken abundant caution with me and warned me to be careful. And I have to think before I walk. I can't just get up and go, because I don't always control my momentum and I don't always control my direction. My daughter, Skylar, had come back with me from vacation because she had to go to work the next morning. But she offered to stay over and get me breakfast in the morning. And I said, no, I'll be fine. You know, no, you're worried, I'll be fine, don't worry. And the next she hears from me, I'm in the hospital with my arm.
The road to recovery for his broken arm and crushed optimism was tough. But Fox eventually came out the other side, remembering the words of his father-in-law.
He would always say, gets better, kiddo, gets better. The last thing you run out of is the future. And so he lived every day with gratitude. And I realized if there's gratitude, then you can sustain optimism.
Michael J. Fox said this, by accepting it doesn't mean you can't endeavor to change it. But if you don't accept it for what it is, and it's just going to be this amorphous blob that seeps through every cranny of your life and you never feel settled, never feel digested. Gratitude involves acceptance. James Baldwin was one of the great writers of the 20th century. He wrote a book that inspired the recent film, I'm Not Your Negro. James Baldwin said, "Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced." Before we can move towards a grounded type of gratitude, we must accept what is, accept the hard, the bad, the injustice, the suffering, so that we can respond in a loving way, a Christ-like way. Habakkuk is a book in the Hebrew Scriptures written by a prophet. Prophets were so good at naming the injustice and evil around them, and then giving hope to people who were oppressed by that injustice. But they didn't skip to the hope. They named the suffering first. Habakkuk 3, the prophet says, "Though the fig tree doesn't bloom, there's no produce on the vine. Though the olive crop withers, the fields don't provide food. And the sheep are cut off from the pen, there are no cattle in the stalls. I will rejoice in the Lord. I will rejoice in the God of my deliverance. The Lord is my strength. He will set my feet like the deer, and he will let me walk upon the heights." We need to name the hurt, the suffering first, so that we can respond out of a loving gratitude. So may your Thanksgiving bring about a grounded gratitude that involves a loving look at the real, to acknowledge the bad, to accept it for what it is, so that you can move toward a loving, healing response. May we repent of the times that we give thanks for things that only benefit ourselves. And may you live out of a grounded gratitude that says suffering and injustice is not all there is in this world. There is good around us, there is good within you, because you are made in the image of goodness. You are made in the image of a good God.